Alright, what's up boys? Welcome back to another video. Today I have the Mortis guide that you guys all wanted yesterday. I asked you guys to tell me in the comments if you wanted to see a Mortis guide in the last video, and a ton of people wanted to see it, so here it is. I'm going to make the ultimate Mortis guide that will help you become the best Mortis. And as you can see, I pushed my Mortis up a bit from yesterday. I might push him to 1K this season, we'll see. He's super fun right now. But yeah, I'm going to break this video into 3 separate parts, I think, just to help you kind of understand kind of more. So the first part is going to be how to 1v1 against other Mortises. And most of this is going to be in Brawl. So yeah, let's hop right into it. Alright, so how do you win these 1v1 interactions against other Mortises? So to prove to you guys, like, since my Mortis isn't that high in cups right now, I'm going to show you me outplaying Sam V, who's like the number 1 or 2 Mortis in the US right now. Top 10 like global, I think. He's been playing Mortis a lot. So like, I'm going to show you guys me just destroying him, and I'm going to tell you like how you can destroy other Mortises too. So I'm just showing this gameplay. I don't do anything fancy, but I'm going to show you guys just to prove that I'm a pretty decent Mortis. So let's hop into the play-by-play. So you can see here at the beginning that Sam goes for the ball, which is a huge mistake against other Mortises. As Mortis, you usually want to just stay back, let the other Mortis go for the ball, and then just destroy them when they get it. Because here's the thing, in the 1v1 Mortis, speed is like pretty much everything. So if you go for the ball, it's going to take time for you to shoot the ball away when another Mortis comes at you, and also that wastes an ammo shot. So that's like 2 birds with 1 stone. When someone gets the ball, it heavily like just handicaps them in how they're going to win the 1v1. So usually if a Mortis is full health and you're full health and they go for the ball, you'll definitely be able to kill them because it took time before they shot the ball, which is a waste of ammo, and also the ball wastes 1 ammo, if that makes sense. So also at the end here, you can see that I just completely demolish him. A trick I like to do is if you are lower health than a Mortis, there's this kind of cool thing you can do where you can hit them when they don't hit you. You have to time it right. But what you do is you aim your attack the same way you think they're going to attack, and you try to calculate when they're going to attack based on like how many ammo they've used. So obviously I could tell he was trying to recharge 1 ammo to hit me since he wasn't coming at me then. So I just dashed downward when I thought he was going to dash. I can't really tell you how to calculate it. Just if you play Mortis enough, you'll sort of get a feeling when they're about to attack. So yeah, I just like subconsciously knew when he was going to attack, and you try to dash the same way and you won't take any damage. And it's a super effective way for winning those Mortis 1v1s. Alright, so now we're going to go over the ball stealing aspect of Mortis. Now, I didn't have a lot of time to get this gameplay, so I'm playing against bots, against my boy K-Man. But yeah, this is still some pretty fun gameplay. As you can see there's the first ball steal, using the long range dash. And then I take the ball again and pass it up just so he doesn't have a chance to score. Now, the most important thing you want to keep in mind when trying to steal a ball from someone is which direction do they want to go. So you want to look at all their options and see what they're going to try to do. So there again, you see I steal the ball. And really, it's pretty simple once you think about it. It's just basically mind games with your opponent. You got to guess where they're going to go. So now we're going to go over what I was thinking with these ball steals. So I knew obviously he was going to try to dribble towards the goal. So I had saved my long dash up and used it to super directly in front of his path to the goal. Next, I had low health and he had his super, so I knew I had to avoid him in a 1v1 fight. So
I juked around a bit, then I went to the ball again, just because he can still score here. So I wanted to make sure I got it as far away as possible. Then I back up so he can't dash back into me. Now keep in mind, this is all mind games. So a good Mortis could have predicted that I would try to predict their dash and not have dashed and just walked it in. And he had full health, so he could just walk straight towards the goal. So a lot of this is just mind games and like thinking what your opponent is going to do. And like any small outplay could win you the game when you're in a 1v1 Mortis and Brawl with the ball. So now we're going to hop into the next one. So here is an example of a failed prediction. I predicted he wanted to go up there. He didn't know I was in the grass, so I dashed backwards. But he predicted this, and he went the other direction. And he tried to take advantage of this. But of course, I had only used one dash, so I still had plenty of dashes to catch up with him. So I dashed directly in front of his flight path to the goal, as you can see, and steal the ball as he tries to dribble to score. And then I just take this ball, and I take it all the way up to their goal and score. So as you can see, one prediction could win you the game. And he did good at the beginning, but what he should have done was just tried to walk it in again. After the first dribble, he could have just walked it in or tried to trick shot or something.
Alright, so one of the reasons Mortis is so popular is because of this dribbling mechanic that he has in Brawl Ball. Sorry, I had to like switch around to get me to spectate. Anyways, he has so much movement with the ball, and he can dribble with the ball, and it's always fascinated people. And something you can do with this ball dribble is just doing trick shots with Mortis. He's one of the easiest brawlers to do trick shots with, since he has so much mobility on the map. And as you can see here, I can use my dribble to get into a position to do a trick shot. So let's break down how to trick shot and how to dribble. Alright, so what is dribbling? If you're new to seeing Mortis and Brawl, you're probably wondering, how is he moving with the ball? Well, it's super simple. Basically, you just attack in the same direction twice when you have the ball with Mortis, and he just shoots the ball and he'll dash right to the ball as it's still moving and catch it. It's very similar to how you dribble in soccer. That's why it's called dribbling. So I would just attack up twice with the red joystick and I would get the ball. So there's also another thing you can do called super dribbling, and that's super fun. How you do it is basically when you have the super in the ball, you super the ball forward and then you dash to it using your new star power. And it's really fun to use. Here's a clip from yesterday's video. You should go check it out. I'm going to be maybe posting Mortis highlights every week or something. So yeah, pretty straightforward, but dribbling is pretty hard to master in game. It needs a lot of practice, typically, unless you're like a prodigy. Alright, so some tips with Mortis in Brawl Ball. If you want to win games, your team comp is very important. It's very important that you have a wall breaker that will break your opponent's walls. If they do not break the walls, you will have a hard time scoring, and you'll be wondering, like, why is Mortis so hard in Brawl Ball? It's simply because your teammates need to break walls on their side of the map. And once they break walls, it's so easy for Mortis to dribble around the goal and score, just because it's so hard to defend an open net, especially against a Mortis that can super dribble or dribble around. I didn't cover trick shots that much in this kind of section, but basically it takes a lot of practice, and just try to keep doing trick shots even if your teammates get mad at you, and eventually you'll get good at them and finding the openings. Also, I suggest, like, if you have some pros at it on your friends list, just spectating them in Brawl Ball if they're good at Brawl Ball, because I try trick shots a lot, and there's a lot of different angles that even I don't know about that I see from other people playing. Alright, so this is the last part of the video. This could be a whole video on its own, just because I have so many just little tips and tricks for Mortis. but I'm going to try to narrow this down to make the video shorter because it's already pretty long compared to my typical video. But before we go on, I just want to say if you're enjoying this video and you've learned a lot, please just like, subscribe, share this video with someone, because I'm like a small YouTuber and I put a lot of work into this video and I don't have that many subs. So yeah, it would help a lot if you guys just liked the video, shared it with someone. It'd be amazing, especially if you learned a lot. And I know I sound kind of dead, sorry for that. I'll try to be more energetic in future videos. So yeah, let's hop into it. So tips with Mortis, my number one tip is going to be counting ammo, your opponent's ammo and your own ammo. Something I got into a habit of doing when, especially with gem grab as a Mortis or any other mode besides Brawl, is counting the ammo of your opponent and counting your ammo and knowing how much damage you do. Mortis does 1260 damage per attack. So that means if you have 2 ammo, he'll do like 1500. If you have 3 ammo, he'll do 2700, something like that. So also your opponents, if they have 3 ammo, so let's take Tara for an instance, right? If Tara has 3 ammo, she will get you down to like, I think 600 health or something. So if she chips you once, this is an interesting interaction with Tara. If she hits you once when you're trying to dash up to her, and then she has all 3 ammo saved up when you're right on top of her, she will kill you. Because the first card will do like 596, I think, and then all 3 of her cards do like 1600 damage. And you'll be dead if she chips you with 1 card while you're trying to dash up to her. But if she doesn't, then you will win the interaction. So that's really interesting. And also, if she doesn't have any ammo, because Tara charges up her ammo really slowly, you see her waste like all 3 of her shots, you can just dash up to her immediately because she definitely won't kill you. So that's like something really important with Mortis, just counting your ammo. It's the same thing with like going against throwers or any other. Tara's just like the easiest example I can think of. But yeah, count your ammos, Mortis, and you'll be a god Mortis if you know your interactions. So that was the first tip I have. The second biggest tip I have is using your shots to dodge. Mortis has the most mobility in the game. He has one of the highest movement speeds without like star powers or stuff like that. I think he's the second highest movement speed under Crow, and he just has so much mobility, but especially with his dashes. And the biggest mistake I see people making is they're not using his dashes to dodge attacks. And if you think about it, they're like, oh, I want to save my dashes for attacking. But if you take damage, you have to wait up to heal again. And if you just dash out of the way, you'll have taken less damage, so it'll take less time for you to heal to full health. So just use your dashes to dodge. Try to get into a habit of it. It's really hard for me to get into a habit of it at first. You have to practice it a lot. But yeah, that's the second tip I have. The third tip is not really a tip, but I'm just going to say this. If you have delay, like shot delay, if you don't know what that is, basically sometimes if you, in the game, like if you're facing people from a different country or the servers are just bad, there will be a delay time between when you actually shoot your shot, like when you actually aim your shot and when it goes. And sometimes this gets really bad. It's basically just pain. We just call it shot delay as brawlers. Anyways, if you have delay, you will suck as Mortis. Don't get discouraged when you play bad as Mortis when you have delay. Because when you have delay, you will suck with Mortis. It takes way more practice to master Mortis delay, especially since like you're used to not having delay as Mortis. So you will hit like every single wall since you're not used to it. But yeah, that's the third thing. Just don't worry if you have delay. You won't be able to dribble. You won't be able to super dribble. You'll hit walls all the time if you have delay. That's not your fault. You're just not used to having delay. You have to play Mortis with delay a lot before you get good at it. So yeah, the fourth tip I have is don't be afraid to die. And actually, that's not really a tip. It's just a big mistake I see people making with Mortis is they play super passive, at the beginning of the games, don't be afraid to just rush in and die to charge up your super, because Mortis is really hard to get kills with until you get your super. And if you play passive the whole game, you're not going to get your super a lot. What people don't realize about Mortis is it's super easy to get back on the field since you have that mobility. He's actually the fastest brawler to be able to get back into the action after he dies. Because of that mobility, when he respawns, he can just dash back in. So definitely don't be afraid to die with Mortis. In a lot of cases, it's easier at the beginning of the game to just rush in, die, charge up your super a bit, and then you can just go ham on them for the rest of the game once you get your super. So, yeah.
That's going to do it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. I have a ton more little tips. Those were just some general tips overall that will help you get started on the path to being a better Mortis. If you want to see a part 2, let me know in the comments. This video took a long time to make though, so I don't think I will make a part 2, although I did enjoy making it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.